All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I moved in. I am back in Arizona. That's why I haven't been able to post for the last couple of weeks. I've just been, moving in, getting myself acquainted, back to living in a dorm. But I'm here. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to get more videos done. I'm going to talk about the Broncos today. That's something that I haven't done in a long time, a few months. So, yeah, let's get into it. Just in general, I'm going to be talking about most of the quarterback competition and just what I've seen over training camp and what I've heard from training camp, and then what I saw over the last preseason game, and then just what I'm looking forward to, seeing in the next game and in the future, just in the regular season and everything. So, yeah, first off, I'm just going to start off by talking about the last game. Both quarterbacks played really, really well. I thought Bridgewater looked like Teddy Bridgewater. He looked like a very safe quarterback. He didn't make mistakes. He didn't push the ball down the field as much as I would have liked to see him, but it looks like that's just what Teddy Bridgewater is. He's just a guy who's going to be able to get the ball down the field in a slow fashion, in a check down manner, and he's not going to make mistakes. And that's what he's going to do. And while it's a good way of playing football, to me, I don't think that's how the offense should be run. I think the offense should definitely be run the way Drew Lock does it, when Drew Lock does it right. And I think that's what happened in the last game. Drew Lock was able to push the ball down the field, get through his progressions, make the right choices, not turn the ball over. Didn't get sacked, didn't even get close to getting sacked. He looked like he was able to bring a lot of the momentum that he had last year over the last 6 games and bring it to this year, which is that's just great to see. I went to training camp. I went to the very first day. I think it was July something. It was the very, very first day that I went. And both quarterbacks looked decent. They both had a couple touchdown throws. They both looked kind of rusty playing against a defense in scrimmage style for the first time in a while. But they both looked super improved coming into this game. They both looked like they were definitely taking advantage of not playing the Broncos' first-string defense and instead playing the Vikings' second and third stringers. But to me, that doesn't matter. You play who is in front of you, and both quarterbacks did that, and both quarterbacks did it well. Yeah, that's just what I saw on the quarterback side of things. Other thoughts, Javonte Williams, our second-round pick, he looked incredible. I am really, really excited to see how him and Melvin Gordon look together. His first 3 runs, I think, were first downs. Then he had a touchdown callback on a holding. And I thought he looked just phenomenal. I'm really, really excited to see him. I know that the Broncos let Philip Lindsay go. And I've shared my thoughts on that before. But if it was to get a guy like Javonte Williams, who I think is a much better prospect than Philip Lindsay, that's great. It's great. We didn't have to pay Lindsay. We're able to get this guy who looks to be just as good, or can be just as good or better than Philip. And I'm really excited to see that. He's much faster than I expected, and he is so hard to tackle. And we knew that of him coming out of college, but even at the NFL level, it looks like he is just as good. So I'm really excited to see him. Jerry Jeudy looked really nice. I'm excited to see him next to Sutton and Hamler full time now, because obviously Cortland Sutton missed all last year. I'm excited to see Jerry Jeudy against the second and third corners, which he was not facing last year. I'm really excited to see that. He looks much improved. A lot of the training camp footage that has come out, it's just him burning, guys like Bryce Callahan, Kyle Fuller, Ronald Darby, some of the best corners in the league and the best corners on the Broncos roster. He is demolishing them. They've all said great things about him. I'm really excited to see him. I think he can have a Cortland Sutton type leap where, he had a couple drop problems in his rookie season. But if he can just shore up that, and it wasn't even that big of a problem. It's way blown out of proportion. It was really just one bad game that inflated his stats a lot. But if he can just shore up on the drops a little more, he's going to be phenomenal, because having the threat of Cortland Sutton on the other side, and with how much of a threat KJ Hamler is, Jerry Jeudy is going to absolutely feast. I'm looking forward to that so much. And our first round pick, Pat Surtain, a lot of people were really mad that we took him. Me included. I will say that. I was not very happy that we picked him. Not that he is a bad player. I'll say that. And that has been well documented on Twitter, just when I'm talking to friends. Everyone knows. I don't think that Pat Surtain was ever a bad player. It was the fact that Justin Fields was available, and I didn't think that Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater was going to be able to get this team to a Super Bowl contender in the next couple seasons. But Surtain looked ridiculously good, like insanely good. And I know Justin Jefferson or Adam Thielen wasn't there, but he was incredible. He had the pick six, obviously, but even besides that, he was just insanely good. He's got great size, great ball skills. He's got great instincts defensively. He's got tremendous fundamentals. He's fast. He's athletic. Everything you want in a lockdown corner. I think he's got the potential to be one of the best in the league. I'm glad that he was able to show out. So the Broncos fans who think that he's a bad player, and we should have taken Justin Fields for that reason and not because of my reason. I'm glad he was able to show out so those guys can, ease up a little bit. I'm really happy for him. I'm really excited to see him because he's our cornerback 4 probably right now, and that's insane because he's probably the most talented guy we have on the roster, or at least in our secondary. So I'm really excited to see him. And the system he's in is going to be great. The offensive line looked incredible as well. And once again, these are against second and third stringers. Minnesota was resting almost every single starter that they had. Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins wasn't playing. Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson wasn't on. Their starting corners weren't in. A lot of their defensive line wasn't in. I understand that. I get that. But they still looked really, really good. They were graded the highest by Pro Football Focus in week 1 of preseason. And that's not something that I think should be taken lightly. That's pretty big. There are some things about the offensive line that I might want to switch up. I might want to move Graham Glasgow, move him to center. I like Lloyd Cushenberry. I really like him. And I think Quinn Miners is probably going to be our future at center. I think both those guys are really, really good. But I think that if we are able to move Graham Glasgow, put him at center, move him from right guard to center, and then get Netani Muti, I think that's how I pronounce his first name, but move him into right guard because he is a freaking beast. He's probably the strongest guy on the team, and he looked incredible. And he looks much improved. So I think that's probably what we should do if we want to win now, but I understand if they want to develop Cushenberry a little more. And then, when Glasgow starts to age, then we move Muti in, which is probably what we're going to do. But I think that right now, that's what we should do. And the defense was also really, really good. Obviously, they only scored 6 points, probably. Caden Stearns is another name who I was really, really excited to see play well. He's our rookie. I think he was our 3rd or 4th round pick. He's out of the University of Texas. He looked really, really good. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited for next season. There's a lot of good things to take away from this game. And what I'm looking forward to next game is much of the same of what I saw this game. I'm looking just for consistency from Drew Lock. He's not going to start. It's going to be Teddy Bridgewater. So I guess what I want to see out of Teddy Bridgewater is just to see him push the ball down the field a little more. Second and third preseason games are normally when you play your starters, but because there's only 3 preseason games this season, it's going to be the second game where most of the starters are played. So Seahawks are going to play their guys a lot more. And Seahawks defense is no joke. They're pretty good. So I'm looking to see Teddy Bridgewater be able to push that ball down the field against a team like that, because I think Drew Lock is going to be named starter. Vic Fangio said today that he's close to making a decision, and I think he wants to see how Teddy Bridgewater looks against a defense like Seattle's, see if he's able to push the ball down the field more, get more medium to deep looks. And in practice, they say that he's been doing that, but in game, I didn't see it. So I'm looking forward to that, to see if he can do that. If he doesn't do that, I think Drew Lock's got the starting spot locked up. That's pretty simple. And then from Drew Lock, I'm just looking for consistency. He's going to be facing the second string defense probably. Maybe some of the first team, but he's going to be facing a lot of second stringers. And I'm looking to just see consistency. I'm looking to see if he's able to dominate the same way that it was last game. And last game was as perfect as it could have gone. But if he's able to do something at least a little similar, then I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I want to see that happen. Like I said, second preseason game, most of the stars are going to play. So I'm looking to see Cortland Sutton on the field for the first time in a year. As I said before, I'm looking forward to seeing how KJ Hamler and Jerry Jeudy look next to him, because that trio is going to be so good. Cortland Sutton's going to have to take some time to get the rust knocked off because this is going to be his first game action in a year. But just to see him on the field is going to be a welcome sight because he's so good. And I know he's a free agent after this year, and I really want him back because being able to have a trio of Hamler, Sutton, and Judy is going to be so good. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm looking forward to seeing Tim Patrick as well because he's also a free agent. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep him and Sutton. I would love to because Tim Patrick is extremely underrated. He's probably the most underrated wide receiver in pro football right now, if I'm being quite honest. I'm looking forward to seeing the Gordon and Williams combo, seeing how that works. I'm really excited to see Von Miller and Bradley Chubb on the field together as pass rushers because they are, the last time they did that, they were the best pass rushing duo in the league. Then Bradley Chubb tore his ACL in 2019. Then the next season, Von Miller he messes up his ankle. He's out for the year. So this season, I need it to happen. Because I don't know how much longer Von Miller is going to be a Denver Bronco. And he's the best defensive player in our franchise's history. So I need it. I need to see that. That's just going to be a welcome sight, just for my heart. I don't even care if they look bad. I just want to see that. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Broncos right now. I'll try and make another video about this after the second preseason game, which is going to be on Saturday. Hopefully that'll be out soon. And yeah, that's all that I can say right now. With school starting, I don't know how much I'll be able to do it, but it's early in the semester, so it'll be little lighter workload, so I'll be able to get some stuff out. So yeah, look out for a video about next week's game. Peace.